What drives men to madness? What dark obsession could possess someone to sacrifice everything, their fortune, their sanity, their very lives, in pursuit of treasure that might not even exist? Yo, welcome to Mysteries Uncovered. I'm your host, and today we begin our descent into history's most blood-soaked enigma, Oak Island. The place where dreams and nightmares collide beneath the cold, unforgiving earth. Before we dive into this abyss, into our investigations into the haunted shores of Poveglia, the paranormal horrors of Skinwalker Ranch, or the vanished souls of Roanoke Island left you sleepless at night, and hit that subscribe button now. What you're about to hear in this 3-part series will haunt you long after the final word. Imagine standing on the edge of a hole that has swallowed 6 human lives, a pit that has consumed millions of dollars and countless dreams, a darkness that has driven men to the brink of insanity. For over 225 years, men have been digging on this tiny, seemingly insignificant island off the coast of Nova Scotia, each convinced they were just inches away from uncovering a treasure beyond imagination. Now, 6 men have died in agony, millions have been spent in desperation, and still, the island guards its secrets with a vengeance that feels almost personal. What malevolent force lurks beneath Oak Island? Is it Captain Kidd's blood-stained pirate gold? Marie Antoinette's dazzling jewel smuggled away as her head rolled from the guillotine? The Holy Grail itself, radiating power beyond human comprehension? Or perhaps something far more valuable or dangerous than any mortal has dared to imagine? Join me as we tear away the veil of lies surrounding Oak Island. And steel yourself, because once this knowledge enters your mind, and you might find yourself consumed by the same obsession that has driven men to their graves. Oh, it began in the humid summer of 1795. A young man named Daniel McGinnis ventured onto Oak Island when something caught his eye, something that would trigger 2 centuries of death and madness. An ancient oak tree with a mysterious block and tackle dangling from one of its gnarled branches, in a place where no human should have been working. Beneath this tree, McGinnis discovered a perfect circular depression in the earth. Anyone familiar with the blood-soaked tales of pirates knew exactly what this meant. A buried treasure. Feel your pulse quicken as you place yourself in McGinnis's boots. The electric thrill surging through your veins as you realize you've stumbled upon something extraordinary. The frantic, hushed conversations with trusted friends constantly looking over your shoulder, knowing that one loose word could bring deadly rivals to your doorstep. This raw, primal hunger for discovery consumed Daniel McGinnis that fateful summer day. McGinnis returned with 2 friends, John Smith and Anthony Vaughn, and their eyes gleaming with avarice. And together they began to tear into the earth. At just 2 feet down, they struck an unnatural layer of flagstones. Stones that had no business being there. Stones placed by human hands. At 10 feet, they uncovered a platform of oak logs, perfectly preserved. And they ripped it away and dug deeper, driven by growing fever. For another platform at 20 feet, and another at 30. Each one a taunt. Each one a promise. Each one a warning they foolishly ignored. Can you feel their mounting obsession? And the certainty burning in their souls that unimaginable wealth lay just beneath their fingertips. With each barrier they demolished, their sanity slipped further away. What treasure could possibly be worth such elaborate protection? What secrets deserve such extraordinary measures to keep them buried? But who constructed this elaborate tomb? And why go to such inhuman lengths to protect whatever lies beneath? The 3 young men couldn't answer these questions. Eventually, the pit began filling with seawater, forcing them to abandon their dig. But the story of what would become known as the Money Pit was just beginning, and so was its curse. In 1703, a more organized expedition was launched by the Unsolved company, and these men, driven by the same fever, managed to dig down to 90 feet. There, they discovered something that would change everything. A stone tablet etched with bizarre symbols, and when finally decoded years later, it allegedly read, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds lie buried. Was this a genuine clue, or a mocking taunt from whoever created this nightmare? and the Onslow Company kept digging, their minds consumed by visions of wealth. But at 98 feet, disaster struck. The pit suddenly filled with seawater, rushing in with such force that the men barely escaped with their lives. By morning, the shaft was flooded to the 30-foot mark. They pumped and dug for days, but the water level remained unchanged, as if the island itself was fighting back. That's when they realized something that would chill their blood. Something that would change our understanding of the money pit forever. Someone had engineered a complex system of flood tunnels connecting the money pit to the ocean. Any attempt to dig too deep would trigger this diabolical trap, flooding the pit and drowning anyone inside. Think about that for a moment. Who would go to such elaborate, murderous lengths? What treasure could possibly be worth this kind of protection? And how advanced was their engineering knowledge to create such a system over 2 centuries ago, when men still navigated by stars? As word spread about Oak Island's deadly mystery, theories multiplied like a cancer. As some believed it contained the blood-stained treasures of Captain Kidd or Blackbeard, others whispered it might hold the missing jewels of Marie Antoinette, smuggled out before her execution. More elaborate theories emerged as well. Could the island hide sacred religious artifacts? And the Holy Grail? The lost manuscripts of Shakespeare? Even the Ark of the Covenant has been suggested, its power supposedly sealed away from the world. But perhaps the most terrifying theory connects Oak Island to the Knights Templar. This powerful medieval order accumulated vast wealth before being brutally disbanded in 1312. Much of their treasure vanished overnight. Could they have transported it across the Atlantic a century before Columbus officially discovered America? The evidence seems far-fetched until you consider the stone tablet with symbols hauntingly similar to Templar code, or the fact that a stone cross formation was found on the island, pointing to specific locations in a pattern eerily similar to those found at Templar sites in Europe. In 1861, the Oak Island Association launched another attempt to claim the treasure. They managed to dig a new shaft parallel to the money pit, but the island struck back with vengeance. Their pumping engine boiler exploded without warning. One man was killed instantly, others horribly injured and scarred for life. The first death in what would become known as the Curse. So legend holds that 7 must die before Oak Island will reveal its secrets, and so far 6 have perished in the quest. Is the island truly cursed? Or is it merely the result of desperate men taking desperate risks? Either way, the death toll continues to mount, and the 7th victim may be drawing near. Feel the weight of this curse. The dark shadow it casts over every expedition. Each time someone sets foot on the island with dreams of discovery, they must confront the possibility that they might become the 7th victim. The final sacrifice before the island gives up its secrets. The next significant effort came from the Oak Island Treasure Company in the 1890s. During their excavations, workers made a shocking discovery that would haunt their dreams forever. At 155 feet, their drill bit passed through what they described as metal in pieces and soft metal before striking an impenetrable surface that made the entire drill rig shudder. When the drill returned to the surface, it brought with it 3 small links of gold chain. Physical evidence at last. Something of value was down there, calling to them from the darkness. But like all before them, they couldn't overcome the water trap. Was not the treasure remained tantalizingly out of reach, mocking their efforts. Now, in the early 1900s, the mystery took an even darker turn. A stone triangle was discovered on the island's shore, apparently pointing toward the money pit like a bony finger. Nearby, a large boulder with a hole drilled through it. When the summer sun sets, it casts a shadow from this rock directly toward the money pit, as if the island itself is giving clues to those brave enough, or foolish enough, to decipher them. Coincidence? Or elaborate markers left by those who entombed the treasure? Even more baffling was the discovery of coconut fiber deep within the pit. Coconut palms don't grow anywhere near Nova Scotia. Carbon dating placed this fiber between 1200 and 1400 AD, so centuries before Columbus supposedly first set foot in the New World. This raises a chilling question. Who was visiting Oak Island from tropical regions during the medieval period? And why go to such lengths to hide something here on this remote, unremarkable island? Feel the mystery tightening around your throat like a noose. Each new discovery doesn't solve the puzzle, it only adds more pieces. More questions, more possibilities. The truth seems to slip further away even as we get closer to it, like a shadow that can never be caught. The most determined searchers arrived in 1965. Robert and Mildred Restall moved their entire family to Oak Island, consumed by the obsession to solve the mystery. Robert discovered what appeared to be a stone vault near Smith's Cove. He was convinced he was mere feet away from answering the riddle that had claimed so many lives. Then the island demanded its sacrifice. On August 17, 1965, Robert was working in a shaft when he suddenly collapsed, overcome by either a mysterious gas or oxygen deprivation. His son, watching in horror, ran to help his father, only to suffer the same fate. The workers rushed in to assist and also collapsed, their bodies adding to the growing pile. All 4 men died that day, their lungs filled with water or poison. And the curse claimed 4 more victims in a single, blood-soaked moment. Imagine the terror of those who witnessed this tragedy. The helplessness. The screams that echoed across the island. The dawning realization that the island had claimed more lives. Though in a single moment, the Restall family's dream of discovery turned into a nightmare of loss that would haunt the survivors forever. By the 1970s, massive operations were underway, as if the deaths only fueled the obsession. The Triton Alliance brought heavy equipment to the island, determined to tear its secrets from the earth. And they drilled multiple shafts and even employed remote cameras to peer into the abyss. One camera appeared to capture images of wooden chests and what looked like a human hand, its fingers seeming to beckon from the darkness. Unfortunately, the shaft collapsed before they could investigate further, as if the island was determined to keep its secrets. Was it real? Or a trick of light and shadow designed to drive men mad? We may never know. In the mid-1970s, Dan Blankenship, a man who would sacrifice 50 years of his life to the island, drilled what would become the infamous borehole 10X. This 237-foot shaft, located 180 feet northeast of the money pit, would yield some of the most blood-chilling clues yet. When a camera was lowered into the pitch-black depths of 10X, the grainy footage appeared to show a body lying at the bottom. The corpse, preserved in the cold, dark water. Nearby, what looked like a treasure chest, its lid partially open. On, the images were unclear but electrifying and terrifying. Picture this moment. The tension crackling in the air as they watch the murky footage. The collective gasp as shapes begin to take form on the screen. Like, could it be? After all these years of death and failure? As a holy grail of Oak Island exploration, actual visual confirmation of treasure. Subsequent expeditions to October produced metal artifacts that shouldn't exist, including a 17th century Spanish copper coin found hundreds of feet below the surface. How did Spanish currency find its way to a remote Canadian island? And more importantly, what else might be down there in the darkness? Fast forward to our present day, where brothers Rick and Marty Lagina have taken up the search, perhaps the next victims of the island's siren call. Armed with modern technology and scientific methods, they've uncovered more compelling evidence than ever before. A metal detected deep underground matches the chemical composition of gold in specific concentrations. And carbon-dated artifacts continue to suggest human activity on the island centuries before official history records. And ground-penetrating radar has revealed underground chambers and tunnels that defy natural explanation, twisting beneath the island like the veins of some ancient slumbering beast. But perhaps the most significant recent discovery was a small brooch containing a blood-red gemstone. Analysis indicated the stone originated from the Middle East, dating back to the 1600s. How did such an exotic item end up buried on Oak Island, as if intentionally placed there as another piece of the maddening puzzle? Ask yourself, how far would you go to uncover the truth? Would you risk everything, your fortune, your safety, perhaps even your life, to solve this mystery? For over 2 centuries, men and women have answered yes to that question. They've been drawn to Oak Island like moths to a flame, unable to resist its siren call even as it consumes them. As we end our first exploration of Oak Island, more questions remain than answers. What began as a simple treasure hunt has evolved into one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries, and perhaps its deadliest. Who created the Money Pit? What technology did they possess to engineer such elaborate flood tunnels designed to kill? And most importantly, what were they hiding that was worth such protection? Join me next time as we dive deeper into the theories. We'll examine the evidence for Templar involvement, pirate treasure, and even more terrifying possibilities. I'll reveal exclusive analysis that suggests the truth may be more incredible and more dangerous than anyone has dared imagine. Could Oak Island be protecting something far more valuable than gold or jewels? Something that could rewrite history as we know it? The answer may lie in connections that no one has made before or that someone doesn't want us to make. If you've enjoyed this first journey into Oak Island's deadly mystery, be sure to subscribe and check out our previous series on Poveglia, Skinwalker Ranch, and Roanoke Island. Leave your theories in the comments below. What do you think lies beneath Oak Island? And are you brave enough to uncover it? Until next time, this is Mysteries Uncovered. The truth is out there, we just have to dig deep enough to find it. And pray we survive the discovery.